Hello, my friends. I hope you're all doing well. Today is 25th of May 2025. Happy Sunday to you all. So one of my subscribers, Michael, requested for teachings on harmonic patterns. So I used to, well, not I used to. So now I'm a swing trader. So when I was scalping or when I was day trading, I was using harmonic patterns to identify potential trades that I was taking at the time. I still use harmonic patterns now and then, especially when I'm scalping because I'm a swing trader now. So if I'm scalping, I tend to use the harmonic patterns because they are mechanical and it's easy to follow once you understand the harmonic numbers that you need. Yeah, and big shout out to Scott Carney, the gentleman. He's still alive, so let's give him credit. The guy that uh, was uh, responsible, the guy that identified or created all these harmonic patterns. So he's on YouTube. You can follow him on YouTube. Search him Scott Carney, Cairney, or just search harmonic pattern Scott Carney, and you will see him. So yeah, follow him. He is a legend, still alive, and still producing videos daily. Okay, so this is bad harmonic patterns. So in front of you, you can see the bullish variation and the bearish variation. So the bullish is the one on your left hand side, and the bearish one is the one on your right hand side. Okay, so for today's teaching, we'll look at the bullish one, and then I'll come back and do the bearish one. Okay. So what you need to do first is to identify a an impulsive move, impulsive leg out. All right, impulsive leg to the upside. Okay. So once that leg has been identified, um, then you take a fib um, retracement and measure. As you can see, I've marked the X, A, B, C, and D leg. All right. So you take the fib retracement um, right here. Okay, you need the first one, fib retracement, and the numbers you need for your harmonic patterns are 0.382, 0.5, 0.618. You need 0.707, but I've not added it on my fib um, because I use 0.707 if only when I'm trading AB equals to CD patterns. All right, so you can add that as well, and then 0.786 and 886. Okay, so let me show you how you add those numbers. Let's say, for example, we want to add the 0.707 fib. So click on any one. Yeah, delete the number that is there, and then type in 0.707 like this. That's it. Yeah. So that number would then appear on my fib. All right. So as you can see, we now have um 0.707. Okay, and you can change the colors. Yeah. Let's say, for example, you want to change the 0.707 to let's say you want to change it to red. Just click on the color, and then you change to the color that you prefer. All right, like so. So that's it, really. All right. So let's delete that. All right. So this is how you get the numbers. All right. So so you take from your X, which is the first impulsive leg, your X to your A, Yeah, and the pullback, yeah. So identifying your B, this pullback here must touch 0.382, must touch, can also touch 0.5, not a must, because for bad pattern you need 0.382 or 0.5, yeah, but must not touch 0.618. Okay, let me repeat again. So to identify your B, this retracement here must touch 0.382, yeah, but must not touch 0.618. So it can touch 0.5 or close just below the 0.5, but must not be more than 0.5, between 0.5 and 618, and must not touch 618. Must not touch 618. All right. Okay. And then that is our B. So the C leg, this leg here, this B to C leg here, yeah, must not break A. So this leg here must not break the high of the A. Okay. It may close half of A to B like this, for example. Yeah. But it must not break the A. So let's say, for example, it's closed here. Yeah. Let's say this be like retraced here. Yeah. So what you need to do in this scenario is you need to make sure, one second, guys. Okay. So you need to make sure that this pullback here, you need to make sure that you measure from A to B. Yeah, because this, oops, because this C leg here must at least touch 3.82. Yeah, which is the first fib number right here. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. If this here does not touch 0.382, then this is not a valid harmonic pattern. All right. So if it doesn't touch 3.82, then is this not a valid harmonic pattern? So this pullback here must at least touch 0.382. Okay. And can touch all these fib numbers, but must not break A. All right. So let's say it ended here. Okay. So that is our C leg identified. Then to identify the D leg, yeah, then this D leg here would terminate at 0.886. Yeah, so for bad pattern, the D leg terminates at 0.886. All right, okay, which is the last fib number for the bad pattern, 886 right here. Okay, so these are the numbers that you need for the bad pattern. So this is the first phase. Yeah, so before you take any your trade, okay, we need to measure our AB leg and our BC leg or CB leg. Okay, so all we do is we take the fib extension this time, not a fib retracement, but the fib extension. Okay, which is the second one, fib extension. All right, so you measure from A to B. Sorry about the noise. It's my kids playing at the back. Back to A. Okay, so you need a number between 1.27 Yeah, 1.27, 1.414, and 1.618. So let me pick the numbers. So 1.272, you need 1.414. That's not the one, that's the one here. 1.414, and you need 1.618. So these are the three numbers you need for your AB leg. Okay, so you need one of these three numbers, the number that is closest to the D leg. Yeah, so in my experience, it is normally 1.618. Okay, so we'll get rid of these numbers here and just leave 1.618. Okay, so that's the AB leg. So the CB leg, that is the second number that we need. Okay, so again, you take the fib extension, you measure from your C, which is where the C terminated, right here, back to your B, and back to your C. Okay, so you need 1.618, you need number 2, you need 2.24, you need 2.414, and you need 2.618. Fib extensions, where are you? That's it. So these are the 5 numbers that you need to measure your CB or your BC leg. Yeah. Again, you need a number that is closest to the D leg. Yeah. And as you can see, it is number 2. Yeah. That is the one that is closest to our D leg. All right. So these are the 3 numbers you need: the AB leg, the CB leg, and then the 886, which is where the our D leg is at, right there. Okay, so you need these 3 numbers to hit. You need this CD leg to touch all these 3 numbers before you consider taking your trade. All right. Okay, so once this number is identified, you can wait to see a signal before you take your trade. Yeah, and once you've seen your signal, you go long, and then your take profit will be at 382. So you take the fib retracement, you measure from the C to D leg, yeah, where the candle terminated before you put up, and then your take profit will be at the 3.82, your first TP. Second TP will be at 618. All right, but from my experience, once the 368, the first TP hits, then we tend to have a retracement back before pushing back up again. Okay, so all right, so let's go to a trade example. All right, so this is the USD Swiss franc on the 4-hour time frame. So here we had our impulsive leg to the upside, yeah, which is our X to A leg, and then we had the retracement, our B leg, and then we push up again, our C leg, before we got our D leg. Okay, so let's do the measurement. So we had our X, so we had our X here to our A, and then our B leg was at 0.5, yeah, and then we retraced, yeah. So if you take your fib extension from A to B, you can see we touched at least 0.82. Let me get rid of that. So as you can see, we touched at least 0.382, which is the yellow line, yeah. So it is valid. Okay, so let's get this feedback again. and then our D leg is at 886. That was where it terminated. Okay, so let's label the pattern here. So you had your X, you had your A, you had your B, you had your C, and you had your D right here at 886. All right. Okay, so now we know that the 886 is right here. Let's just plot the horizontal line there. Sorry. Yeah, it's right there, 886. Okay, so that's the first criteria met. Now we need to measure our AB leg. So we take the fib extension, we measure from A to B back to A. Like I said, we need 1.272, 1.414, or 1.618. Okay, so I will just go for 1.618 because I know that is the number that is closest to the D leg most of the time. So I will pick my 1.618 if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, that is close to D. And then the next thing we'll measure is our C to B leg, back to C. And then we need what numbers? 1.618. We need 2, 2.24, 2.414, and 2618. Okay, so those are the numbers that we need for this leg. So we need a number that is closest to D. Okay, and as you can see, it is number 2. Yeah, as you can see, it's number 2. So we get rid of the other ones that we don't need. Okay, so you need to wait for all these numbers to touch as the CD leg is moving down. Yeah, you need to wait for all this to touch. So these are the 3 numbers that we need. The red line here is our 886, and then we got our AB leg, which is 1.618, and then the CB leg or BC leg, which is the 2. Yeah, so you can see all the numbers are touched. So this is when we take the trade. All right. So you can choose to wait for a confirmation, and your confirmation was this bullish engulfing candle right here. Okay, so you can take the trade after the closeout of that candle. All right. So, or you can drop down to 5 minutes and take the trade right here. Okay, so to take your profits, all you need to do is to take the fib retracement, measure from C, yeah, to the where the bottom of the D leg. Okay, and then you take your first profit at 382. Yeah, like I said, from my experience, you always hit your first take profit at 382 before you have a retracement. So what this is called is the first move to the upside to hit the first take profit is called the reactive move. Yeah, and this push down is called the retest. Yeah, so we retest the level before we go back to hit the 0.618 second take profits. All right, but I tend to take my first TP and then I'll wait to see what will happen right here. Okay, so if you go long here, yeah, your stop loss will be below X. Okay, that would be your stop loss. Okay, all right, I hope that makes sense. All right, any questions, guys, please drop a comment. All right, and I'll be able to respond. All right, Michael, I hope this makes sense to you. Yeah, I will do more videos on harmonic patterns. And my next video will be the bearish harmonic patterns. All right, so yeah, so this is it. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and enjoy the video. Take care now. Bye bye.